Welcome to Intuitive Seek. My name is Mary Treen, and every week I aim to bring you a grounded approach to all things intuition. Through personal stories, experiences, and practices, offering energetic reflections to help you discover, connect, and fully realize how your unique power of intuition is your own greatest teacher. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to August 2024. How are you? How has your summer been? How has your winter been if you're in the Northern Hemisphere? It has been a busy time for many of us. But for me, it has been busy, but more full. Like I spoke about, if you heard July's episode, I have really needed to make sure that I am taking care of my energy in ways that I haven't in the past. Giving so much more attention to how much I expend, how much I need. And that has been a really interesting lessons that I am still learning. But one of the things that I have been kind of moving through is that there are so many things that I want to do. I want to do more episodes of this podcast. I want to put these things out that I've been creating in the background. I want to offer more and share more. There's so much that I want. But there's only so much that I can do. And this time last year, I was not as busy in my work at all. I'm much busier, gratefully, so gratefully, in my work now. But that means I only have so much energy. That means I only have so much to give. So much that I can give my attention to. I'm also moving through more personal things that maybe I'll speak to another time, but they also take a lot of attention I want to give, that I have to give to myself and then to others. And I wanted to start out this episode this way because if you are in the same boat, if you are also feeling like there's so many things that you want to do, especially right now in the season, if you're in the summer in the Southern Hemisphere like I am, it's a time where it can feel like there's so many things to do, so many things you want to do, so many opportunities and opportunities for fun and for expression and work and all of the things. Even new meditation practices and exercises and so many things. It can feel quite overwhelming. So if that is you, if you have been kind of judging yourself, as I have periodically for sure, give yourself a break, as I have periodically, but also take this time to really figure out, do you have the bandwidth? Do you have enough for the things you really want to do? Because I know that for many, many, many of us, we have large capacities to get things done. We have a lot of space where we can hold quite a bit in our lives and for others too. But pay attention to when that gets into the territory where it starts to impact you in a negative way, where it starts to impact your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your overall well being. Because right now, that is the most important, focusing on your well being. Because when you do focus on that, often that helps us focus on the well being of others around us. When we focus on our own well being, then we aren't judging or taking too much stock of what other people are or are not doing around us. And I am really looking forward to, can I say really again? I suppose that is just my adjective for today, or adverb. I think it's an adverb. But I guess really, I have a feeling I will be saying that a lot. So that will be the adverb of the day of this podcast of the month for August. But yes, I'm really looking forward to sharing when I do have the space and time and all of the things I need to bring you all the things that I'm excited about. But I'm also really thankful that I do have enough energy to support all of the clients that I'm supporting. And that is my main focus aside from my personal life. And a few quite really exciting creative pursuits as well. So I did want to offer, if you have been feeling overwhelmed, if you have been feeling like you need some support, some care, you can always book a session with me. You can reach out for support. I may be able to help you. It is one of my greatest joys, this work that I do. And yes, if you are needing support, I have space for that because that is one of my focuses. So if that is resonating with you, go to my show notes. There's a link there where you can explore all the different ways, different sessions, different focuses that I can support you. And there's also a link in the show notes where you can tap contact and you can send me a message if you're unsure which session would be best for you. Just send me a message and we can chat about it. All right. So, yes, let's dive into August energy impressions. I do have the space for this because I love these episodes. So, I always wanted to make sure, always really want to make sure that I do these, even in the months where things are extra busy. So, welcome back to everyone who loves listening to these energy impression episodes and the podcast. Thank you for being here. And if this is your first time listening, welcome. The energy impressions that I offer are not predictive forecasting. What I offer is meant to support you in connecting to your own clarity, connecting to your own intuition, so that you can navigate through the month with a bit more clarity, more clear view, clear vision, clear knowing and understanding of what you want, what you need, and what you may need to remember through the month. Now, what I do is I go into a nice deep meditation with the intention of offering energy impressions, offering you insight and guidance through multiple ways, as you'll hear, and allowing you to take what resonates, take what you need, and to leave the rest. So let's dive in. So right away, the energy of August, it felt like where we're standing on the shore, standing before we're about to dip our toe in the water, but we're hesitant. We're not sure. We're feeling like it might be too cold, might be uncomfortable. But when we dip our toe in the water, dip our toe in the waters of August, we realize that it's not as cold as we thought. That it may actually be the same temperature. That it may be so comfortable that we realized we didn't need to be worried about the discomfort. We just needed to put our toe, just one toe, in the water to recognize that it is for us, that it is as comfortable as we could not have imagined it to be. And that's what the beginning of August and of the August energy impressions felt like. That it is a time this month for us to feel and see and discover what is actually for us that we are worried is not. That metaphorical, too cold, not comfortable. August, we may be surprised at what is comfortable for us, as long as we move into it. And water can be quite a symbol of our emotions as well, our emotional depths. So in August, it may feel quite emotional. There's even that phrase that's coined by, Lana Del Rey and many others of summertime sadness. Even though it is a joyful, happy time depicted in the Northern Hemisphere, for some, it can feel really emotional, and it can bring up a lot of sadness. But it might also just be what we are experiencing through the month of August, could be moving through or bringing us through a lot of emotion. And what it feels like in August, we are getting so much more comfortable in this depth of emotion that it is not as striking when we not only dip our toe into it, but swim through it. And then, yes, even though there is a lot of water, I was also feeling through the meditation that our fears have an opportunity to burn away. Our fears may burn away, burn out faster than maybe we have even witnessed before. So this month, August 2024, time feels different. Time may feel very different. But this is also because you feel different. Because maybe you are different. And that's why some of those fears will burn so quickly, because they are not yours anymore. And then in the meditation, I was really brought to our heart. So a lot of heart work can happen this month, a big focus on the heart, but also heart play, connecting to the wonder and the awe of your heart, growing from the heart. And because August is, well, it's my birthday month, the 19th of August, which is actually a full supermoon, I believe, this month. So very much looking forward to my birthday, which is not always the case. But because August is my birthday month and I'm a Leo, it does remind me of Leo. the lion heart. And that's what I was reminded of when I really felt this heart work, heart play growing from the heart this month. So in August, this month, connecting to your own lion heart. And that immediately makes me think of the courage of the lion. And yes, in action, because the lion heart feels quite active, fiery. But the courage comes from taking the action towards what we know is there for us, what we know we want to do or say or be. But maybe the fear was in the way of our action, was tying up our courage. Well, this month, that fear can be burned up quickly. We can light our fear up and turn it into full, lion-hearted courage. And if that resonates with you, follow that. That's resonating with you because you have the courage to take that action, but you'll only feel the courage when you do take the action. It's that idea that you may have heard of where, from many very successful people, I've heard them say that you never feel ready. It's that simple adage. You never feel ready. The readiness is in the movement, where you get to see and witness your readiness on display because it's being moved in action. And it takes courage to do that. But the courage is in action too. So in August, how can you really take any of the fear that has consistently been holding you back from moving, from acting, and how can you use it to propel you into that full-hearted courage? One thing I was thinking about the other day was temperature and how when it's hot, that means that the particles in the energy, the atoms all around us are moving, the molecules are moving faster. But moving away from whether the science I'm speaking of is correct, let's move into the metaphor of why I was thinking about it. Is that moving into August, when it tends to be higher temperature, when there's a lot of movement around us, you would think that that would help us move. But when I was feeling into kind of the metaphor of that, it felt like almost the opposite. That because there's so much movement around us, it can get overwhelming to try to jump into the movement. Kind of like a double Dutch skipping rope, where you are trying to kind of catch the rhythm, move into the movement, but you're hesitating because you don't know when the right time is. And that is how kind of July and August can feel for me. It can feel like so much is happening around, but I don't know why it feels more difficult to kind of step into the action. And I wanted to, offer that kind of insight and perspective on why you may be feeling a little bit more held back or stuck. But it really is an invitation to come back to yourself, to come back to your own energy, your own rhythm, to feel the difference between what's happening around you and what's happening within you, so that you can feel and see more clarity around what action you need to take, what you need to do. You can hear the language of your intuition, maybe in completely new and different ways, because you get to pay more attention to your overall energy and the difference between all of that kinetic energy around you and what's happening with the energy of you. And that's when you can start to really feel that full heartedness, how much of a depth and foundation you have within your heart to grow and move, and the courage that comes with that. And then another aspect for August that came through in my meditation was the idea of writing a letter from your future self, who is living in August 2025. And it felt connected to the actions that we are meant to take in August, that courage that we're meant to build and move with. So if this resonates with you, writing a letter from your future self to you. What does your future self next August need to tell you? Because right now, this time feels like a turning point, an ending and beginning, the space we're moving through. It feels like we are going to be surprising ourselves quite a bit this month with how we react and respond to things and experiences, that we may be surprising ourselves on how much we have changed. So to imagine what your future self from next August is going to tell you, based on how much you've already changed, there may be some deep wisdom that you're able to bring through for yourself. And then another aspect of August felt like very similar to July, I remember, that there are still things that we need to finish. We need to finish up. What needs your attention? Imagine that September is a new year. What if energetically, and for many of us, school year, some religious holidays of New Year are in September. So if September is a new year, energetically, let's say, what do you need to finish so that you can move into the new year? What needs your attention before you begin to really swim through the rest of the year? What do you need to release and let go of? Maybe it's not just fear. Maybe it's also in ways that you see yourself or speak to yourself or tell yourself about yourself. Maybe about your life now, maybe something from your past, but also maybe how you are seeing yourself in the future. Maybe you need to release that. Maybe you've changed and that doesn't fit anymore. And August feels like it can support us to really do that, if that resonates with you. And then, of course, I always love to connect to animal energy in my meditation for each month. And the animal for August is surprising. July was a goldfinch, a lot of solar plexus energy. And it is another bird for August, but it's a turkey. This beautiful, bright turkey, fanning out all of its beautiful feathers. Now, this is an interesting animal, not one I would pick for August. So many of us feel like it's a symbol for, big feasts of Thanksgiving and sometimes Christmas and harvest, much more of a different time than August, right? But I love that the turkey is here for us in August because right away it felt like the perfect animal to help remind us of our deep value, of our maybe overlooked and taken for granted value. If you look at a turkey with their beautiful feathers and so many different colors, lots of deep reds and rusts and pinks, but also purples, and their feathers are iridescent. And the way that the feathers are growing in different directions, it is quite a sight to behold if you have not really looked at a picture of a turkey in a while. It looks otherworldly. And that felt like a reminder for us to remember all of the aspects of ourselves that we don't see. But it also feels like the turkey really represents unexpected blessings and literal abundance, but also the unseen beauty, as I was saying, and the unseen and unexpected, valuable, grounded beauty, nourishing beauty. The turkey is very close to the ground. They have been referred to as the earth eagle. So grounded, but so powerful. So again, bringing our attention in August to grounding our energy, focusing on when our energy is not feeling grounded and what happens when we're not feeling grounded. Maybe we're living a bit too much in the sky, looking a little too big of a picture, looking at too big of a picture and daydreaming and looking too far ahead and in our dreams, living there. I feel like the animal energy for August is helping us see that by coming back to Earth and witnessing all of the things, the grounded reality of the value and beauty and our resources and what is already abundant in our lives, that will really help us through the month ahead. And for maybe some of us specifically, this turkey symbol could be about reminding and focusing and maybe highlighting the parts of ourselves that are not feeling special, that are not feeling beautiful. And that may be when we are not grounded. That may be a sign that we need to ground our energy when we are not feeling our beauty. So you may want to, like I said, look at a picture of a turkey and really look and be amazed at how much you have missed. And then use that same eye on yourself. And you could even do an exercise where maybe put a timer on for a few minutes on your phone and look at your eye, one eye, the iris, and really look and see all the things, all the beauty that you do not see. And just look. And that, in a way, is a grounding exercise because you're paying full attention to yourself. Now, another thing about the turkey is that it lives for 12 years, because I always like to look at how it lives and what it does as a way to inspire us for the month. So, turkeys live in the wild for 12 years. And that felt like, oh, yes, that 12-month cycle, that new year that I was feeling before. But for some of us, it may be really helpful in August to look back 12 years to 2012. What was your life like in 2012? I can imagine that it was very different than today. I can imagine that you were very different. So if that piques your interest, kind of pulls at your intuition a bit, resonates with you, look back and see how far you've come. And the turkey also feels like a reminder to be generous. And if you are feeling that kind of summertime sadness, those waves of emotion this month, allow your deep feelings to flow. But then remember to connect those feelings with some generosity to yourself, but also to others. Can you help someone? Can you give to others in all kinds of ways, not just in money? What do you have to give? Have you been generous lately and not recognized it? Or is there ways you could be more generous? Because by being generous to yourself and especially to others, that helps us feel nourished. That kind of gives back to our humanity, helps us feel grounded in the present. And it helps us feel full. So, what do you need to feel more full? That may be something that you want to look at this month. So, I hope that these energy impressions that I've shared have resonated with you. And I want to offer some intuitive questions for the month that you can use as journal prompts, or you can answer them in a voice note, or you can even kind of think of them, one or a couple, while you're walking. A focus to allow yourself to connect with yourself and your needs and your energy and your intuition in new ways that will help support you this month. So, the first question, as a journal prompt or a voice note, as I said, would be to describe something in your life that you need to finish or that you need to let go of. And then describe why you haven't yet. And what do you need so that you can finally do that? And then another intuitive question prompt would be to write or dictate a letter from yourself, from your future self, from August 2025 to yourself now. Allow your imagination to move through time. Like, let your imagination go. Trust what comes. What do you need to know from your future self? What do you need to remember? If this question resonates with you, take some time with it. There may be some real wisdom that you need to know, and that is just waiting for you to discover. And then a third question could be, what beauty, strength, wisdom, resources of yours have you been taking for granted or even fully forgetting that are there? And if that's kind of difficult for you to answer, you could go to that exercise that I talked about, putting a timer on and looking super closely at one of your irises, taking in the shadows and the light and the shapes and the colors and the tones. Take in this deeply beautiful part of yourself that you, I'm feeling, often overlook. So, what beauty, strength, wisdom, resources of yours have you been taking for granted or forgetting are there? And then detail them and start with your iris. And then the last intuitive question that you can answer and use to help you get more clear around what you need to know and do for the month of August would be to describe a fear that you have, one that is holding you back in your life. Be deeply, deeply honest with yourself. And then when you find it, describe it, how it's held you back, and then using your imagination, picture or feel or just know that you can place your fear outside of you. And then picture or feel that it spontaneously combusts, that it burns away super quickly. And then describe what you experienced in your imagination. What does it tell you about your fear and about yourself through connecting, describing your fear, moving it away from you, and then allowing it to burn away? What did you experience? And if that resonates with you, that means that there is something to experience. So I hope that you can take some time, ideally the first week of August, and answer one or a few of these questions to really allow yourself to gain more clarity so that you feel supported and focused and grounded as you move through the rest of the month. And thank you so much for listening. I am really my favorite adverb of this episode. I am really looking forward to the rest of August. It feels quite pivotal. And yes, if this resonated with you, please reach out to me. I love to hear from you. It is one of my favorite things. And yes, let me know if you have any questions or anything you want to share. Like I said, do not hesitate to send me a message. You can do it through my website, treenlight.com, or through my Instagram at treenlight.healing. I am taking a little bit of time away from Instagram right now, but if there is a message there, I do check periodically. And if you're curious about working with me, I offer one-on-one sessions and distance healing remote sessions as well. And I also offer a 4-month healing journey that is one-on-one and extremely transformational, more intensive, but really powerful, called The Key. And you can find more information on my website as well. I'll leave all of those links in the show notes. And you'll also find the link to sign up for my newsletter and mailing list if you haven't already. Hugely appreciated if you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or follow. And if you feel called to give some support, please share this episode with a friend or leave a review. So thank you so much again. Be kind to yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hi, Auntie Mary. I just wanted to say something very, very meaningful. Cat.